Well, to keep some focus on that now, we're going to speak to a 24-year-old law student who has actually suspended his studies for a year in order to campaign for a second referendum on the question of the UK's withdrawal from the EU. To get his perspective on the latest developments, let's cross live to Mr. Jack Dart. Mr. Dart, welcome to the show. Firstly, can I get simply your reaction to this rejection from the MPs to this withdrawal deal? For you, is this good news or bad news?
I think this is incredibly good news, really. It goes to show, I think, that actually Parliament overwhelmingly does not support Theresa May's vision of a Britain outside the European Union. And I think both sides of the debate, both Leave voters and Remain voters, I think will be perhaps jumping with joy today with the news that this deal has been quashed.
Do you think you're getting perhaps a step closer then to having this second referendum, which I know you yourself are campaigning for and even have started a crowdfunding to try and get organised?
Yeah, I think we are much closer. We're in a better position. I think, Parliament is doing its job. It is showing Theresa May that she can't just push this through, that no deal is frankly unacceptable for the country, and most people in this country won't accept that. Now, Parliament, as we know, is sovereign and is making that very clear. But I think we are getting closer and closer to where we need to be. And unfortunately, the impasse, the deadlock will have to be broken, and that, I believe, will be broken by virtue of a people's vote.
But is having another people's vote, because let's face it, we've had a people's vote over 2 years ago and almost 52% voted in favour of leaving the EU. Is it not unfair to those people to rerun the election as if their view has been discounted?
No, I don't think so at all. I think actually the suggestion that going back to the people to ask them whether or not they're happy with this actually is direct democracy, going back and saying, well, the deal has been negotiated. Are you happy with this deal? It's certainly not what was billed during the referendum campaign. And I travel around the country talking to young people, talking to people from different backgrounds who have said themselves, we simply aren't happy with how this is going, and it's not what was sold to us, and we want another chance to have our say on that. And I think going back to the people, asking the same people that question would be the right thing to do.
And do you think what people will want is to remain, or do you think it's a certain type of Brexit that people are looking for? Maybe not this hard Brexit, maybe not leaving the single market and the customs union entirely. Do you think people want to stay a full EU member, or do you want a nuanced Brexit?
Well, I think we get a different picture from different polling companies, some recently suggesting as much as 60% would vote in favour of remaining in the EU. But it's unclear what would be on the ballot paper in the event of a people's vote. And I think what's been made very clear is that over the course of the 2.5 years, as this has unfolded, as people have become more aware of how the EU works, its institutions and so on, I believe actually people have become more informed and are now making the decision and coming to terms with the fact that actually, it's probably the right course of action, but we really don't know.
And finally, Mr. Dart, you've taken some pretty drastic measures to campaign for a second vote, for another chance to have a say on this Brexit question. Can you give us an idea? Why are you so anti-Brexit, or anti-the EU, rather?
Yeah, so I'm anti-Brexit. I mean, the view is this was billed as a sort of people's revolution. And for a lot of young people in this country, we're not exceptionally British. We are a collection of young, ambitious Europeans, and we're proud of that. And nobody is forcing a European citizenship on anybody. You can identify as a British person or as a European, but I think young people are in solidarity with our European neighbours. We've spent the longest time in history at peace in Europe, and I think young people see that as an opportunity to travel, to work, to live and to love in 27 other member states. And that's a really great thing for young people, and we see this, I believe, as a removal of that ability to try to succeed in life and to do the best we can. So I am fervently against it for those reasons, and I think that actually a lot of young people in this country see their futures going down the drain if we don't do something about it.
OK, thanks so much, Mr. Jack Dart, for giving us your perspective on those results and the future of that Brexit question in the UK. Mr. Jack Dart there, coming to us live from London.